Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutation to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth. Alright, so I wanted to get into Isaiah the 34th chapter today. I had it written down in my notes, and I think it's a good chapter to go into. It's a very, vivid chapter of the judgment that's coming to this place we called America, right? It talks about a few different things, right? Who is ultimately getting the judgment, right? It talks about the condition that it's going to be left in once that judgment is passed. And so I wanted to touch on a couple of things in there. And as always, in hopes that it's edifying. All right. I'm just going to read Isaiah 34 and kind of let myself work from there. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the first verse and I'll bounce around a little bit. I got some things pulled up here for some visuals and some definitions, and again, Lord will is edifying. So this is Isaiah 34:1. It says, "Come ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it." Right? It says, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations." Right? So this reminded me of a couple different scriptures. I didn't pull the other one up yet. Let's go back over here. Let's go to Zephaniah 3 and 8. Zephaniah 3 and 8 says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations," right? "That I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire," right, "of my jealousy," right? So, as we know, the Heavenly Father is gathering all these nations, and He's going to gather them all in one place, right? And as the scriptures say, as the prophecy tells us, that they'll at first be fighting each other, right, in this final place. And then when the Lord comes to, put His imprint on that final war, they're going to then turn to fight Him, right? Let's go from there to, I think it's Joel right here. Joel 3, and I'll start at 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles," right? "Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord," right? "Let the heathen be wakened," right? "And come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat," or Jehoshaphat. "For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about," right? So He's gathering them there all in one place, right? And He's going to destroy them in that place, right? That's what these prophecies here are speaking to, right? Jehoshaphat means the Heavenly Father's judgment, right? Let's go in there. Yep, Yahweh has judged, right? So let's go back. Let's see. It says, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, Get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Right? Multitudes, multitudes, in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Right? So this is what it's talking about, right? When you go into all the nations being gathered, those nations are the nations, the heathen nations, right? That have all had a hand in keeping us in this perpetual state of captivity, right? So let's keep going. It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies, right? He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Right? And the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Right? So I pulled up a little picture so you can see the heavens being rolled as a scroll. Right? And it says the host of heaven shall be dissolved. Right? When you look up this word dissolved here, let me do that first. When you look up this word dissolved, maquak, right? It says decay, pine away, rot, fester, right? But the host of heaven we know is what the stars, uh, the the moon, the sun, right? So we know that those things are not going to dissolve. So when you go down here, it gives you a little bit more understanding here. Boom, figuratively pine away, right? So what's going to make the host of heaven figuratively pine away or consume away or to seem to go away is the heavens being rolled together as a scroll, right? So when you go, right, it says here, right, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. When you look at this, right, it's going to be this mushroom cloud effect, right, which is going to be created by the missiles, right, that hit ground zero, and a cloud of smoke and dust comes up, and it comes up in this fashion where it comes up through here and then rolls into itself like a scroll does. Matter of fact, I got yeah. So if you look at these scrolls, what are they doing? They kind of roll into themselves, right? It's all one sheet of papyrus or paper, but it rolls into itself. Where's the one I saw that I like? This one right here. See how in each side it rolls together, right? Same thing on this side. It rolls together, right? So that's what that's talking about. The heavens rolling together as a scroll, right? I like visuals like this because it gives you a the scriptures say something, right? And sometimes me just I'm saying sometimes me all the time I'm a visual learner, right? So even when I'm reading in like let's say First and Second Kings and where the building of the temple is occurring, the building of the city of David occurred, right? I like to go into videos that show that, and I'll go into like Google Earth. I don't know what's gonna pull up here, but I'll go into Google Earth here. Am I in Jerusalem still? Yeah. So I'll go here and I'll try to figure out where things would be. I mean, I'm getting off topic here now, but this is like the Kidron Valley right here. Down here is the Valley of Hinnom. Down here, right? Then there's another valley that kind of shoots up in between here. I think it starts like about right here, right? So that I like to do that, right? Because I'm a visual learner, and this is what the scripture is talking about here, right? The heavens being rolled together as a scroll, right? So when the prophet Isaiah was seeing this, that's what he saw: the heavens being rolled together as a scroll, right? He wrote what he could. He wrote the best way what he saw, right? It says this, and all their hosts shall fall down, right? And the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Right? It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? And what is that sword? That nuclear missile, right? I pulled up this video. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want them to cut the video off. But you know, if I can show you, I think I showed this one time before. This looked familiar to me when I clicked it. But when you take a sword out of the sheath, right? You bathe it in heaven, right? Because you have to pull it out of the sheath and swing it through the air before you come down and strike with it, right? And then if you look at a sheath, right? What is it? It takes on, let's say, the image of a silo, right? So let's see if we can find a video of a missile coming out of a silo. Let's see. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, see? Here's a silo here. Oh, they gonna show it? Just trying not to click. There it go. Trying not to click on it because I don't want to play. But there it is. Like, comes out of that sheath or that silo, and then it gets bathed in heaven, right? Let's see what this one shows. Like I said, I'm trying not to click on it. You click on it, they flag it. So yeah. So here's a silo here. Let me But if you look, right, this metal around it, that's the silo and that's the missile, right? So that's the sword in the sheath, right? Then it comes out of that sheath and it gets bathed in heaven, right? So let's keep going. Go back over here. It says, yep, and the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon who? Idumea, right? So we know who this is. Idumea is the Greek way of saying, the Greek or Latin way to say Edom. Where you at, Esau? There he is. He be Esau be hiding. Right, so Edom, right? Edomite, Idumean, descendants of Esau, right? And that's for those who still getting stuck on abhorrent Edomite and Edomite. So let's keep going. All right, it says, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea or Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Right? And what did the Lord say about them? Matter of fact, let's go here, Malachi. Where you at? Malachi 1. It's boom. 1:4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, right? So this is why this is going to happen to them, right? The people of my curse to judgment, right? The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, right? It says, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness, right? So this is just, the Esau or in the other nations being referenced as animals, right? We know that because it tells you that it's coming for Idumea, right? And then it talks about the land being soaked with blood, right? So it says here, verse 8 says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion, right? So for all of the things that Edom and the other nations did to the nation of Israel, right? the Lord is going to avenge us. He's going to get his vengeance by, again, gathering them all up in one place and destroying them, right? And not only destroying those nations and those armies, but also destroying the land, right? It says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, right? So pitch is, so I looked it up. I've done this. I've looked it up years ago, but I looked it up again. So this is pitch, right? Or this stuff right here. So when you have pitch, if you look at like prehistoric movies, or they'll show you a little bit of Jurassic Park, right? It's like a tarry substance, and it looks like a lake of tar, and it kind of, you see like it has air bubbles, and then it bursts and it splatters all over the place, right? That's them trying to show you the atmosphere that these prehistoric times was in, like this hot atmosphere, right? But if you look down here to production, it talks about how when you burn wood and different plants, right, what happens is charcoal is left behind, but the reason is because the moisture is taken out of the wood, right? And so they do this process called dry distilling, right? And what you'll notice, right, and I'm getting a little bit too scientific in here, but I thought it was interesting when I looked it up initially. But there's a thing called pyrolysis and thermolysis right here. Pyrolysis and thermolysis was basically to say that you're heating something up. Something is being heated in order to make this pitch, right? So if you look up this pyrolysis, right, decomposition brought about by high temperatures, right? So the streams being turned into pitch, right, meaning that all these things are going to be burned up together, right, at very high temperatures, right, and there's going to be streams of pitch, right? This is the desert-like condition that America is going to be left in, and a lot of other lands too. Some of those lands will be rebuilt, right, when we are delivered back down here, right? But America is never going to be inhabited, right? It's never going to be lived on. Matter of fact, since I said that, let's go to Isaiah and 13, I think it is. Yep. Yep. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it, right? The Medes here being Russia, right? It says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, right? So Babylon, or America, or this place of Idumea, this land of Idumea, right, is never going to be inhabited again. So everything is going to be burned down at such high temperatures, right, that there's going to be streams of pitch, right? It says, and the dust thereof into brimstone, right? Another thing that happens, like when you burn, let's say soil or dirt at high temperatures, right? It turns into brimstone, right? It says, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch, right? So this is the condition that this place is going to be left in, man. Streams of pitch flowing, all throughout the place, right? And eventually, right, once the fire goes out, right, because the scriptures tell you, I think I just read through it. No, here it is right here, the next verse 10. It shall not be quenched, right? So there ain't gonna be no, like how they have in California, where they have these massive wildfires, and then they drive over in helicopters and planes and try to dump water on them in a I want to say in a massive way. They just dump a lot of water, try to submerge the fire in water to put it out. That's not going to happen here. So that fire is going to burn for a long time, man. I didn't to think about that, because the scriptures tell you. I think it's matter of fact, I think it's back in Joel Smoke going up from generation to generation. Let me see. Where is it? Thought it was in here. Let's go to this one. Let's say generation. I think let's try smoke. Let's see. Oh, right in that same verse. Yep. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, right? From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever, right? So ain't gonna be no, helicopters flying over here or chariots flying over here to put that fire out. That's gonna be a deep, deep burn, man. It's gonna be burning forever, right? It tells you in Revelation 18, um, where it says, standing afar off. I think it's 18, and I want to say 9. I think that's what I saw. Revelation 18 and 9. Yeah. So Revelation 18 and 9, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Right? So that you see that smoke, the reason why it's going to be smoking because it's going to be burning for a long time, man. Right? Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is our judgment come, right? So that smoke is gonna be just going up, going up, going up, going up, right? For generation upon generation, because that you think about, you never really get a real good perspective of how big America actually is until you're in an airplane. If you're in an airplane, right, and you're flying over, uh, and you think about, let's say, you drive every day, right? You drive, you get in your car, you drive, and you're on the highway or you're on the road. And when you see that when you're high up in the sky, you can see how many of those roads there are just in your, let's say, town or just in the area that you're flying over. You realize how large this country actually is, man. So you imagine that the whole country from one end of it to the next, from coast to coast, right? I think it says it in here too. Stretch out the line of confusion. Is that in here? Let me see. Is it in here? Yep. The next verse. Let me read through this one. From generation to generation it shall lie waste, none shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, right? The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, right? These are like desert birds, right? And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion, right? And the stones of emptiness, right? So the lines of confusion, why? Because you ain't gonna be able to see where one city started and one ended. It's just gonna be all flames and fire. And this is where you get that reference, the lake of fire. This is gonna be that lake of fire here in this place, right? From coast to coast. All right. It says, keep going here. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all her princes shall be nothing. It says, and thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons. Yeah, so like when you have like old ruins, what happens is once it's no longer maintained, what happens? You get thorns growing in there, brush, right, and it kind of the let's say the plant life takes over uh, those ruins, right? Here where I live, there's a place that used to be a ice house, and if you look, as you're driving on the highway, you look over, you can see it, and all the trees have grown through it, right? They do tours around here, like around November. They do tours around here so you can see, inside the building, but it's just the walls of the ice house that are still standing, all your old stone walls, but the thorns and bush have grown up in it. And that's what you're gonna see here. A lot of those these stone buildings. You're gonna see like the skeletons of the buildings, and it's all gonna be burnt to bits and pieces, man. You know. So that's that's gonna be a sight to behold, man. And Lord's will, I don't have to take part in that. I only want to see that from the heavens, if you know what I mean. It says the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay, and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. Right? so, so so that's the fate of this place, man. The kingdom of Idumea, right? The height of the power of the Idumeans, right? This is their fate. This is what they have coming to them. So again, that was, that's a little something on Isaiah the 34th chapter. Like I said, I wanna do that. Sometimes, the spirit don't hit you, which is a scary thing. But when you go into these chapters, it gives you let's say, how do you say, like a foundation, right? And then you can bounce around in the scriptures and start to fill out what that particular chapter is talking about. So that's what I'm gonna try to do more often. So again, hopefully that was edifying. As always, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Chak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Honor and salutations to the elect. With that, I say shalom.